First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Kansas City Chiefs. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Blue 60!
Right there, 56.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
22!
Under 10, 10. 56 is Mike. 56 is the mic.
Easy!
On first down, Swift. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. After the loss to start out, here's second and 11.
Sponge. No. Hey, check 24.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. He finds a rookie from Iowa, T.J. Hockenson. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. First down Lions on a pickup of 13. So here's a first and 10 at the 38.
21!
Check the backer. Watch the safety creep. Check. Check three. Hey. Motion.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6.
Watch the screen. Hey, Mike 50.
Now Stafford. And he finds Danny Amendola. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
They'll run on first down. Swift, and he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's second and 13.
32!
Let's go. Hey, we got Mike.
Easy!
Switch.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Chris Jones able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
I smell fear in that offense.
From the gun, here's Stafford. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. No doubt a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
Now a man who really came on late last year, it's Damian Williams. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. A give to Williams, running right. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. Now it's Wilson. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. And he's going to have the first down as he's marked down just shy of the 20. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
Took a heck of a chance there, didn't he? Result-based business, we know that. That result was positive for him. But, oh my goodness, how close was that to being negative?
Well, because you're essentially in the shadow of your own end zone there to go for. I get it if it's late 4th quarter. Well, it paid off. I guess the end justifies the means, right?
It certainly does. Had to be more than a gut feeling there. Had to be just total confidence they would pick it up.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Right there. 54, right there.
Throwing again. Wilson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marcus Golden, too much to handle that time, gets the sack. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Well, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. It's Desmond Trufant. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line. So a pretty shaky start here for both sides.
Yeah, each quarterback's throwing the ball to the other team. Do you think on both sidelines they're sitting them down and saying, okay, remember, this is the color jersey we're wearing. They're wearing the other color. Let's make sure we get it to our guys, please.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Chris Jones in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Take a seat. You can't stop me.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Double right.
Mike, 53.
Stafford now to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Chris Jones, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And now the rookie's free. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And his kick is good to make it 7-0 KC. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Here's Stafford. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for first and 10.
Don't let him breathe. Play that time deep. Don't let him breathe, defense.
56 to Mike, boys. 56.
Zero.
It's our field.
Hey.
It's our house.
Out of the gun, Stafford. And Amendola's got it, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
First and 10 at the 28-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10.
Come on, QB, come on. 50 smooth. 56 is the Mike. Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go, D. Tighten up.
Operating from the gun, Stafford, and his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, but it'll be second down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
56 to Mike, boys. 56.
On second down, Swift. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Blue 60.
Right there, right there.
32. Watch the slats. Watch the slats.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Watch the run, watch the run. 53 to Mike, 53.
Hey, echo. Here we go.
Mike, 53. 53.
From the gun, Stafford. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. Remember, Prater has hit from 64 earlier in his career. This one not quite as long, but good from distance nonetheless. Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Watch the shit.
Slam.
Hey, alert 3.
They begin the drive with Williams. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
54 Check. Watch 54. Here we go.
Throwing on 2nd down. Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Buying time to his left. He may try and run for this. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
KC last year on 4th down, 12 of 15, 3rd best in the league, and they're going again. They'll indeed go for him with Wilson. He is going to find Hill here. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs first down.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. This one out quickly to Watkins. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
It's a gain of a yard.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score.
Don't want it. Keep playing hard, fellas, all day. Let's get it.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Give him 3 yards there, as that'll take us to 4th down. On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. So they give it up just on their side of midfield. And, yeah, I mean, a surprising decision there to go for that.
Must have a lot of confidence in his defense. Must feel like, hey, we're in great shape here because our defense can hold them, because they're really outside of field goal range now. All right, the opposite team. So if you hold them here, you haven't given up any points. You may give up a punt and you're pinned down a little bit, but must have thought it was an okay spot to go for it and decided to be aggressive.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
61, match box, light.
From the 41, Stafford is going to let this one go deep. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And now the clock reads precisely 1 minute to go in the half. You want to run the 1 minute offense? This is a good test right here.
It certainly is.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danny Shelton muscles his way in for the sack. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Now it's Wilson. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Oh, yeah. Hey. 54. 54. Here we go, G. Get up.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd and 10, Wilson, it's Hill, complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
It's a gain of 6.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. The offense is going to stay out there. They've converted twice, failed once so far on 4th down. Let's see what's in store here. Here we go on 4th with Wilson. And it's complete to Kelce. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half.
First down, Kansas City.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And this one is right down Broadway. Butker, what a pickup he's been for Kansas City the last 2 years. Remember, he was drafted by Carolina to be the eventual successor to Graham Gano. That didn't pan out. Casey got him as a free agent. He's been really good.
Yeah, Gano said, oh no, I'm keeping my job. But Butker found his home in Kansas City, a franchise record for points scored in his first 2 seasons.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something quick.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
We play to win. Let's go!
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it with Williams. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Check 15. Check. There.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping.
They run it again with Williams. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Check.
Let's go double count right here. Double count.
On the ground, this is Williams. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Hey, watch him. Look.
Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4.
He's heavy on the edges.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch it.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Got a man open. It's Ricky Seals-Jones. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. Yeah, Williams is going to be stopped short of the yellow line. He did not get there. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
10. Easy. Pilot, 64, weak.
Here's Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And he's got Amendola on the connection. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Williams. And an alley to run. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Damian Williams, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Kill.
Double right.
Rush in.
Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Chris Jones in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The Lions on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun. Stafford under pressure again, and down he goes again.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Lions go for it on 4th. It's Stafford. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. And he's not able to get away. He is stopped well short of a first down.
Here we go. Got it. 3 down. 51, Mike 51. Rabbit.
On first down, Wilson. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. It's Desmond Trufant. And the return will stop right around the 25. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step one. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Double dog. That's the way.
After the interception, here's Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Brings up 2nd and a yard.
Mike 56. Mike 56.
Throwing to Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. The Lions on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Mike's 56.
Check right.
From the gun, here's Stafford. And that is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Mike 56, right there, 56.
Here we go on 4th. Stafford. And it is incomplete. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position.
It's a turnover on downs.
Mike's right forward.
95.
Back and go full strength. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. They complete it to Hill. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Throwing again on second down. Wilson. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Check 31.
That'll bring up fourth. They had the 8-yard gain on first down, but unable to do much from there.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. Wilson. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his fourth touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down
caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Right here, right here.
Easy.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 30. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more, but a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards the 2-minute warning. From the gun, it's Wilson. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Jamie Collins gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Justin Coleman. He's at the 50, the 30, and a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. And that one, Charles, is just going to about wrap up what was no doubt a dominating defensive performance.
Yeah, I don't care what team it is. I don't care who you play, whether they're strong offensively or not. Just giving up 3 points in the NFL, that's absolutely a dominant performance and one that they can build on.
Now a pass that's taken in by Hill, and he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Watch the screen.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. And going deep for Hill. And that going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
51 to Mike, boy, 51.
From the shotgun, Wilson. He is going to find Hill here. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Check, watch 54, watch 54.
To throw again is Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Desmond Trufant. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll keep it on the ground. Swift, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive, and a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now defensively they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Wilson wants to throw it. It's Hill, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He'll get it once more into the hands of Hill. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Again, Wilson. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. It was Desmond Trufant right there, step for step in coverage. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. 54 is Mike, 54 is Mike. Check.
Wilson will throw again. And this is caught by Watkins. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 37. So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
No, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for the Chiefs, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they'll sink now to 0-4. And fortunately for them, they'll have the early bye next week as they return to action in Week 6. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.